women's national championships.
Probably the top 10 in the world competing, easily.
Throwing that axe with absolute ferocity.
With the field of women this year, I think anybody could take it.
Look at this race head to head.
You can't really take anything for granted. You got to give your best every moment. Every hit counts. No room for mistakes.
If you can't make each and every movement efficient, you're going to be out of it.
We're not only looking for a win, we're not looking for a national title, we're looking for a world record.
I think every time I do come to the STIHL event, a goal would be a world record. You know, byproducts of setting world records is winning.
It's gonna happen here in Milwaukee.
It's exciting, it's thrilling. I love the raw power of it.
Wow, what a cut!
Welcome to Milwaukee for the 2024 STIHL Timbersports Women's U.S. Championship. The nation's top 12 women in timber sports have gathered here on this Germanfest weekend to compete for the most coveted prize in the nation in this sport. I'm joined by veteran timber sports competitor Kevin Holtz, and today we'll watch as these athletes compete in 4 different disciplines for the best cumulative points total in their quest for the 2024 gold medal. We have some longtime veterans looking for a big win and some newer names working their way up to the top of the ranks. But a great deal of the attention will be paid to the 2 women who have traded turns at the top of the podium since 2018. One being 2-time champion from Spokane, Washington, Erin Lavoie, and the 3-time and current reigning champion from Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania, Martha King. These 2 come in as the favorites for this competition, but the field is getting tighter, and the potential for a new champion is a very realistic possibility in 2024. The competition will begin with the stock saw event and will be followed by the standing block chop. After that, we move on to the single buck and finish things up with the underhand chop. The best times in each event will receive 12 points, equal to the amount of competitors, and the next best times will receive a descending amount down to 1 for last place. A player can be disqualified for infractions in any given event, in which case they would receive a DQ and no points for that event. The competitors are ready, and we are set to get things underway with the first heat of the stock saw, featuring 2 newcomers to this championship event, Kevin, both from the West Coast, Lauren Bergman and Aaron Cramsey.
Well, Tommy, as you pointed out, both these competitors new to the timber sports stage, and more importantly, new to what I call the timber sports effect. There are competitions worldwide, across the country, across the continent. None are like this timber sports stage. Good clean starts from, oh, trouble though on stand number 2. Cramsey has to go back and double clutch. You see that missing bit of the disc at the top, and trouble, there's just, I can't keep up with it all, Tommy. There's just too much mayhem going on in one heat to digest. But this is what I'm talking about. These 2 athletes have, I guarantee you, made thousands of cuts in practice, in competition. But you get to this stage, you see that trophy, you're gunning for the championship. We got to get Rich more yellow flags out here, though. He's littering the stage.
Yeah, he's out now. He's fully out.
Let's hear what Rich has to say.
Okay, we were reviewing a couple of things, make sure there was a complete disc on this side and that the line was not cut on this side. They were both very close, but both cuts are good.
So Bergman and Cramsey made it interesting for themselves in that first heat, but they make their times and move on. We move on as well to the next heats in the stock saw, where in heat 3, Alex Miller posted an excellent time of 12.16 seconds to take the lead. After which, reigning U.S. champion and national record holder in the stock saw event, Martha King, faced last year's silver medalist Hannah Quigley in Heat 5. Quigley met with some disappointment in her cut and will have work to do in other disciplines to make up for it. King posted a solid time to put herself in good standing near the top of the field. Now in Heat 6, to round things out in the stock saw event, 2023 bronze medalist Emily Brown facing certainly a top competitor in Erin Lavoie, who, while training to be a firefighter in Spokane, has also been training to make adjustments in her mindset going into this championship event.
So in addition to training all of these events going into Milwaukee, I took a lot of time to focus more on my mental attitude going into it. I've been on the stage before being far too stressed out, too nervous, too much pressure. and I can't handle it. And I know that, I've learned that. So to train, to stay calm, and to just treat it like another day, do what you know how to do, that's what I'm looking forward to doing at this one.
So Erin Lavoie coming into this championship and into this stock saw event with maybe a new approach. Our stage announcer, Super Dave Jewett, has the call.
Two different stances. Oh, trouble on one, more trouble on one. Erin Lavoie coming out at 6 seconds. What a beautiful cut from Lavoie. Lavoie at 9 seconds, gaining at 11. Wow, Erin Lavoie. If that line is there, that is a dangerous cut.
So Erin Lavoie making it interesting for herself, pushing the limits on the DQ line, but it looks like she finished clean for a superb time that, if everything checks out, would put her in first place. Meanwhile, Emily Brown is in serious trouble with her cut.
Well, here you have it. Missed the top of the log, reshot, but didn't move over far enough, and she had to go back in for a third time. That still was not counted as a complete disc.
And here's Rich Hallett with the call.
Okay, unfortunately, DQ on this side, cut line. Your cut was good.
So Emily Brown, unfortunately, with our second DQ of the day, and she'll have a bit of a mountain to climb with our remaining disciplines here. But Erin Lavoie, with an official time of 12.06, sits at the top of the standings after the stock saw.
I went into it this year thinking like this isn't the make or break, this isn't a hard event. I'm trying to be cool and just race it properly, and that's what I did. That was really good. I'm excited, I'm comfortable, I'm really just calm, and it feels good.
Erin Lavoie looking to return to the top of the podium for her third championship. She's in our John Deere driver's seat after the first event. We've got 3 more disciplines to go with chopping on the way when we return to the 2024 STIHL Timbersports U.S. Women's Championship. The STIHL Timbersports Women's U.S. Championship is brought to you by STIHL. We were made for this. And by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer. Welcome back to the 2024 STIHL Timbersports Women's U.S. Championships in Milwaukee, where we've completed the first of 4 disciplines with 2-time U.S. champion Erin Lavoie sitting at the top of the standings after the stock saw event. She's looking to even the score with 3-time champion Martha King, who sits in 4th place after her stock saw performance. Alex Miller and Samantha Graves get off to strong starts as well, but everyone is still in contention as we move on to the standing block chop, where in Heat 4, 2023 silver medalist Hannah Quigley is trying to turn things around after her disappointing stock saw showing. She faces Kate Page, the full-time firefighter from Oregon, who's competing certainly with her colleagues back home on her mind.
When I come here to the STIHL series and, you know, Heppner, Oregon gets attached to my name and Wildland Firefighter gets advertised, it's just as important to my coworkers and my agency that I'm here representing as it is when I'm at home fighting fire. And the truth is, I fought fire until the last minute to leave here, and the second I get home, that fire's still gonna be going and I'll be right back to work.
Go! Well, and Tommy, this is the sophomore album for Hannah Quigley. Like you said, silver medal last year, a far from typical performance in the stock saw. She is a great standing block cutter and is presenting the axe well for the most part. One hit way high, though, on the front side of this log. We've got to see her get rid of the nerves, settle in, move on from that stock saw, and just get the competition life together here on stage. Kate Page is not waiting around, though, on stand number 1. She put in a huge front. Quigley, though, is going to pull out a 31-second and change. Kate Page, almost an oversized springboard pocket in the back of that log. That does not give you a lot of forgiveness. There's not a big target there to throw that axe into.
Meanwhile, it looks like Quigley might have been trying to exact some revenge on that block. After her showing in the stock saw, she powers her way to a personal best and currently the top spot in the standing block with an official time of 31.52 seconds.
I kept my head on and really had to do a mental reset. I'm almost there, not quite me, but I'm hoping by the next event I love the single buck, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Quigley looking forward to the single buck event, and we're looking forward to seeing how Erin Lavoie responds to Quigley's intimidating chop. Lavoie, our points leader, coming into the standing block. She and Brown both gunning for Quigley's time of 31.52. Dave Jewett has the call from the stage.
1, go! Brown into the wood, right on go. Gave her a slight advantage over Lavoie. Lavoie, that sweeping motion, watch the sweep from the down hit from the up hit into the down hit. Beautiful, and the power at 14 seconds. Again, Lavoie only one hit behind. A slight stick. Getting the big wood out is the challenge, which Erin Lavoie is having a little tough time. There goes the chip. Brown, though, at 26 seconds. Brown hunting it down. Brown coming at it at the 30-second mark, and she's going to just miss it. Wow. Again, right around 32 seconds. We got to keep it going for, okay, Erin Lavoie shaking her head at 38.
So Lavoie not enthusiastic about that effort there. Her block just wasn't being generous with the big chips, on the backside especially. But Emily Brown, on the other hand, with a personal best in the standing block. In fact, it's the second best time in this event. And that has to make her feel better about things after her DQ in the stock saw. But we have our marquee matchup in this particular event coming up, with defending champion Martha King facing the world record holder in the standing block, Samantha Graves. Graves pulled off that time of 30.02 seconds in last year's championship. Of course, she'd love to do that or better here on the big stage once again.
To be fair, Tommy, and I'm a big Samantha Graves fan, but to be fair, Martha King, her personal best is like 30.9. So she's right there on world record pace herself.
Not a lot of daylight between these two.
Go! Which is why they're our marquee matchup. They're in heat number 6, our two best standing block cutters. One of my concerns for Samantha Graves is that she's going to come in here with the anticipation that she needs to beat her own record. She has to cut this block to the best of her ability. It may not be a world record block. Martha King around to the backside of this block around the 16-second mark. That means it should be coming off around 32, 33 seconds, unless she's got something up her sleeve. Martha King looking to drive. Chips one more time, goes into a downward pattern. No new world records today. Martha King coming in right around the 33-second mark. Samantha Graves, a really rough-looking front face. She knows, I think that was too much Samantha Graves in Samantha Graves' own head.
Samantha Graves coming up with less than what she wanted, with that chop finishing in 7th place in the standing block. But Martha King, just 1.5 seconds off of Hannah Quigley's first place time. King maybe not getting the results she'd like so far, but she's been solid and consistent in the first two events, with arguably her strongest events to come. Two-time champion Erin Lavoie, for her part, also looking forward to her favorite event to come, sitting in first place in the overall standings with the help of that first place in the stock saw. A lot of jockeying for position in the overall standings after two events, but the picture will no doubt become clearer after this next one. We've got some big saws, the single buck discipline coming up. Halfway through the competition here in the 2024 STIHL Timbersports U.S. Women's Championships in Milwaukee. And with only 4 total disciplines, each one naturally plays a huge part in getting to the podium. But the picture clears up after this one, the single buck, where skill and power are further enhanced or inhibited by the comfort level each of these athletes feels with these very impressive and very expensive saws. Here in Heat 3, Alex Miller faces Samantha Graves, who's been moving up in the ranks with a bullet the last couple of years. She says she's trained hard for this one and expects a big improvement on last year's time.
1, go! Both Samantha and Alex Miller, stand 1, stand 2. Very similar starts. Samantha just putting the pace to it. Miller being a little more deliberate about pressure, a little bit of a hang-up though, as she is coming with just a little more heel on that saw. Samantha through the bottom of that log, showing a time around 16:23 on the unofficial clock.
So Samantha Graves indeed with an improvement on her time, a personal best in fact. We've had a number of personal bests so far in this event. Samantha in first place, but stepping onto this stage to face Lindsay Down, we have the national record holder in the single buck, defending champion Martha King. Like many competitors here today, King has this sport in her blood. For her, chopping and sawing isn't just about the search for excellence and championships. It's also part of her upbringing, part of her livelihood, as she helps hold down the fort with her family's tree service back home in Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania. She'd love to take a 4th championship trophy back home after today, and an impactful showing in the single buck event would go a long way toward that end.
I use everything that I have, and it's all about timing and how you set yourself up, running the saw to how it's been made to run. And I've got probably 4 different single buck saws, so learning how to run each one proficiently has been an endeavor, but it's very, very exciting, especially when you figure out how to run things properly and put down that flawless cut. So that's what I'm looking for today.
Again, Martha King, the world record in the single buck, but Lindsay Downs' best time in the single buck is only 0.04 seconds behind King's. So we should expect some fireworks here.
3, 2, 1, go!
Again, a very flat start on the cut for Martha King. Both of these athletes running the saw well until a hang-up from Lindsay Down on stand number 1, hangs the nose of that saw, maybe lifted a little bit going into that push stroke. Martha King clean through the bottom, showing a 14:38 as her unofficial time.
That time would be a world record if it holds. Martha attacking that cut so aggressively, but also efficiently, working the full range of her saw. And it is official, a new world record of 14.24 in the single buck. Martha King making a statement here on the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS stage. However, with this wood being so generous today, one of our next 2 competitors could challenge King's time. Last year's silver medalist Hannah Quigley will face 2-time champion Erin Lavoie here in Heat 6, with Lavoie looking for a much better outcome than last season when the unfortunate technical error of her assistant touching the saw cost her a qualifying time and a chance at the championship.
Nobody will be touching my saw this year. Nobody but me. So no unnecessary disqualifications. And after that, I'm just gonna let it fly.
Tommy, both of these athletes do have the potential to meet or beat that time. Watching the elapsed time go by, it is looking very good for Lavoie on stand number 2. Quickly, very quick through the bottom of the log. It is Lavoie on 2, not able to best that time of Martha King.
But good runs for both athletes and very close to King's time, with Lavoie winning that one just a shade faster and finishing that event in 2nd place. That puts Lavoie in 2nd in the overall standings behind King, which means they will go head-to-head in the final heat of the final discipline, the underhand chop. Samantha Graves and Hannah Quigley are also in the mix to hoist the trophy, and both also favoring the underhand chop, but all eyes will be on the 2 competitors who have traded the gold medal back and forth in this U.S. Championship since 2018. The underhand chop and a winner just ahead. The STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Women's U.S. Championship is brought to you by STIHL. We were made for this. And by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer. We are down to the final discipline here in the 2024 STIHL TIMBERSPORTS U.S. Women's Championship in Milwaukee. With the underhand chop as the final leg, 12 athletes are putting it all on the line, trying to make a statement and find their way to the podium in 2024. But now in Heat 5, we have the training partners from New York who've been making big waves in this sport since their first appearance in the STIHL TIMBERSPORTS events just a few years ago, Hannah Quigley and Samantha Graves.
2, 1, go!
Quigley on the right, currently 3rd coming into the underhand. Samantha Graves on the left, currently 4th coming into the underhand. Neither one of them without fault today. Both of them stumbling at different points. Last chance for STIHL TIMBERSPORTS points here in the underhand. It is advantage Graves as she is first to turn. We'll see if she did the work in the front of this block. Quigley still has the option to reel her in and win if she put in a bigger front face. I like the back face of both these competitors. Graves definitely put the work into the front. There it is, Samantha Graves, as she has daylight showing through the top of that block as she goes into her final drive sequence.
So Graves barely besting Quigley in that one, but both athletes putting the 2 top times down in this event so far. We'll see how that shakes things up in the final standings. With the 2 top choppers in the underhand, the 2 top competitors in timber sports on the women's side are stepping to the stage, going head-to-head to decide it all.
I feel like when I get to the underhand block, I really can send it home in that with everything I have left, just all the power. It's a beautiful place for me to be. It's home, and I like to finish the event like that.
I've had some of my greatest successes with the underhand. It's been a tough year for me because of some injuries that I've been overcoming, and those injuries in some ways complicated my ability with the underhand, but they also improved other weak spots with the underhand. So I just need to be calm and execute as I know how.
Erin Lavoie with 2 championships, Martha King with 3. The winner of this one takes it all. All comes down to this.
The quintessential timber sports event, the underhand chop, and 2 quintessential athletes. Martha King on the left, Erin Lavoie on the right, both exceptional underhand cutters. It is King, a full swing of the axe ahead of Lavoie into the backside, assuming they put in equal effort in the front of the log. It is, oh wow, Erin Lavoie, 23:88.
Well, if that time holds up, it would be a world record for Erin Lavoie and a 3rd championship to match pace with Martha King. Lavoie on the near side, right there, doing what champions do, using everything left in the tank to bring it home. She has been here before. She knows what it takes, and she does the work to get that trophy.
Okay, we were reviewing in the start on stand 1. Both cuts are good.
And there it is, it's official. Erin Lavoie, your U.S. champion for 2024. She wins the final heat in world record fashion, 23.61, the official time. Martha King right behind it, certainly an outstanding cut, but Erin Lavoie taking down a reigning champion, Martha King, to win a 3rd championship. Evening the count with King. What a rivalry this has turned out to be. And for the next year, your reigning U.S. champion will be this athlete from Spokane, Washington. Erin Lavoie wins the 2024 STIHL Timbersports U.S. Women's Championship.